Welcome, gamers, raiders, traders, and everybody in between. King Tokes with another Dungeon Hunters video. But this time, today, what I'm going to be going over is the I Had a Nightmare Season 2 update in Dungeon Hunters. So, jumping right into it, as you can see, we are in the Season 2 lobby. Well, how do you get here? Well, first and foremost, go to Worlds, put us back into the main lobby. So you could access the Season 2 content after reaching level 15. And in this video, I'm going to be kind of going over the views, the zombies, the good things, and everything like that for you guys. So, again, going into Worlds, the Outer Reach. Here we go. So one of the first things that you'll know about the Outer Reach is it has a nightmarish theme, more of a Halloween theme that I really dig, especially around the Christmas times. So kind of just getting into it first right off the rip is the dungeons. You have one dungeon here and you have another dungeon here. Guys, in my opinion, these are just reskins off of Season 1. They're the same exact dungeons, just a little bit more difficult. Now, it's been about a week since the update actually went live, and I've waited to post a video, and here's the reasoning why. When we first started that day of Season 2, I jumped into the Nightmare Lobby. So, for one, Season 2 resets your level back to level 1. The current cap is level 20. Now, we're going to have new updates coming this Friday, so imagine the level cap will be increased, but who knows. So my first day, I spent 6 hours just to get to level 10. Also, when you're first starting out your grind to level 10, you only have 2 ability slots. Once you reach level 10, it unlocks your 3rd, and reaching level 20 will unlock the 4th. Now, so in every dungeon you'll be getting different gear and different loot, and I highly recommend putting on that gear unless you're running a speed build, which is in our Discord, pinned under help. So definitely join the Dungeon Hunters Discord, a bunch of helpful information there. So with that being said, going over to the only other real noticeable difference in Season 1 and Season 2, other than the cosmetics, is the Nightmare Crafting Table. What is this? Well, for newer players, you're going to have a hard time with this. For people that are already level 150 doing raids in Season 1, it's just, you already know the deal. So jumping right into it is, you're going to get these things called Balrog Teeth, and you will also get gear. Now, to start crafting the Season 2 gear is you need at least 250 teeth and 1,000 coins. So I'm going to kind of just buy something here. Obviously, I want to do Orion's Peak. Orion's Peak has a different set, the Orion's Graves. So it's going to be similar in both dungeons. It's just different loot. I don't know why they did it that way, but it is what it is at this point, guys. Hopefully they change that in the future, because that's kind of a huge zonk, which means you have to run dungeon after dungeon after dungeon after dungeon after dungeon just to get some better pieces. And I'll show you kind of the comparison of what they look at, and you can make the determination for yourself if it's going to be worth your time or not. So I'm going to craft this one just to kind of show you. Great, I crafted it. It is common. Now what? Well, as you can see, there's only one stat. That sucks. So the next step is you go into infusion. But here's the thing, guys. You will need loot from that area, 5 of them, to make it from common to uncommon. It will also take 100 of the Orion's Graves or the Balrog Teeth. So kind of already have some here to kind of just show you, but you do that, great. Now let's take a look at the damage. 144 to 482. Went up. Perfect. So with that being said, to get uncommon to rare, you need to do that same process I just showed you to get it from rare to Epic, you got to do the same process. And from Epic to Legendary. And from Legendary to Mythic. And from Mythic to Primordial. What is Primordial? Well, it is this awesome gear right here that is the best of the best. Now, I'll get into this in a little bit and you'll see huge differences. But one thing that you'll notice is if you already have Primordial gear, this axe is 345. This is from the Dungeon 1. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So all your Season 2 gear in I Had a Nightmare Season 2 is nerfed, nerfed, nerfed. I mean, for instance, let's just take a look at the armor. 232. Just keep that in your head as a side note, but we'll get into it a little later. Getting back into the Primordial, though, if it will let me. Taking it from Mythic to Primordial will take 5. Now, it used to be a 5% drop. For whatever reasons, the devs now made it a 3% drop for any Mythic gear. That includes these Yuck Feathers. So you need 10 of them to take a Mythic to a Primordial. So guys, it's going to be grindy, grindy, grind. Oh yeah, and grind some more. Alrighty guys, on that side note, what I wanted to talk to you about is the actual weapons gear of the Season 2, comparing it to Season 1. So, going into Nightmare, a Primordial from Dungeon 1 is 345. Now, if we do our search a little bit more, this is what you'll get from Dungeon 1 in Season 1, as well as this. So, again, heavily nerfed. Now, the first thing I wanted to do is go, hey, look at all my new gear, you know, show off my Primordial gear, blah, 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 blah. So I did like what every player does. I go back into Season 1 of Dungeon Players to actually see if my gear is worth playing raids on. Well, I was sadly disappointed. Now it went down to 77 attack. Comparing it side by side, I can't even use this in Season 1 at all. I mean, even my Primordial from that's level 20 doesn't even compare to a level 15. I mean, it's insane with the difference. I mean, it's just there's no point. You know, like what I showed you earlier, where your armor and weapons are drastically reduced. It's kind of the exact same thing in Season 2 to Season 1. So, kind of going back to the point is, well, what is the point? why am I doing this? And ultimately, I don't have a good answer for you guys. So, I did want to stop there and just kind of show you that just a little bit, just to kind of, you know, prove my point even more of, I don't really know if Season 2 is worth all the grinding and everything else like that, especially if you're still missing some pieces of Primordial, or you're wanting to put a couple Primordial sets together. It's definitely Season 1 is still where it's at. So hopefully I was able to clarify that a little bit more. Now, here's something that people may not know right off the get-go when you first drop in. So if you go over to your pets, your Somnic, your Yadra, or whoever you're running around with in Season 2 is now reset to level 1 in Season 2. That you will have to re-upgrade using dust. Now, here's the only benefit to the pets in Season 2 is all the pets have pretty much gotten a 10% increase. Now, some have gotten a 3x increase, some have gotten, I mean, just drastically increased, but some, for the most part, are just 10% increased. But when it comes to Balzarog right now, he is currently bugged. Now, if you guys don't know who Balzarog is, it is this giant goblin from, well, he's the boss of the first dungeon. Now, one of his special skills is he summons 5 goblins to come and fight for you guys. Now, with that being said, normally the level of the goblin reflects the level of the Balzarog. Well, it's currently bugged that even though I have a level 20 Balzarog, when he summons his pets, they're only level 1. So that's not necessarily good for Nightmare right now. But here's another crazy thing that a lot of people aren't noticing, or might have, I don't know, and I don't know if the devs will patch this in future updates. I hope not, but you never know. So let's go back to the Maelstrom armor. It costs 3,100 magic dust to lock in 4 and reroll the stats to whatever I want. It is 1,930. Why is that? Well, if you take a look, this is a level 10 versus a level 160. So level, rarity, all that stuff matters into re-rolling stats. But hear me when I say this. Do not re-roll any of the any gear from Season 2 in Season 2 Realm. Why? Remember that 1,930 real quick. So we will go back into the normal world. Go back over to the stats rerolling table. This did not change. But where the huge difference is the Season 2 gear. Watch this. 10 dust to reroll 4. Guys, capitalize on this as much as you can currently. Because, again, I don't know if the devs meant to. I really highly doubt it. But, again, it might not be something that they can fix just because we are comparing 2 servers against each other's, or 2 worlds, if you will, but ultimately reskinned. So there's a huge nice thing right there. The next is the pets. Now, when you cross back over into Season 1 and bring your pets over, they will also be at level 1. So you will have to re-get them back up to 150. But look at that. A healthy 125,495 health and 27,158. Well, let's compare these two side by side real quick. So, if we go into the Google Doc that's been put together in the Dungeon Hunter server, which is so freaking helpful. Nightmare Balrog, 125,000. We kind of already went over that right here. But comparing it to the other Balrog, that's 114,086 health with 24,689. But that's not the only comparable two. Let's go down further. Let's look at Dire Wolf. 31,269 health with 18,105. Now, one thing that I've noticed is the Dire Wolf, even though his attack is saying 18,105, his actual attacks are doing more than that. Same with the Nightmare Dire Wolf, but one thing that you'll notice, look at that health difference. Now, Dire Wolf is not something you need to run the store and get immediately because, well, he's got so much health. It's just the simple dynamic of these are some of the great things that are coming in Season 2, and hopefully they keep coming, and hopefully they fix some of these bugs. But outside of that, it's whatever. So, going back into that kind of covers that. So, what to do next? Well, guys, in my opinion, with the way that the updates are coming and everything else like that, my opinion is don't waste your time in Nightmare right now. Don't waste your time grinding away. Unless you want the cool looking stuff, I mean, by all means, God bless you. Do whatever you want. It's a game. Have fun with it. But if you're going to grind and you still haven't got your full sets of Primordial gear, by God, get your Primordial gear, y'all. You're going to get way more value out of that than you are grinding this stuff that come Friday is going to be obsolete and makes no sense. So, Nightmare 2 right now, or Nightmare Season 2, makes not a whole lot of sense to spend your time in. unless you're wanting those pets, absolutely grind your little heart out. But once you get them, there's really no point. You're not going to level 200 right now. You're not getting anything really to progress or to transfer over to Season 1 outside of the pets. So hopefully this brought some clarification to, newer players or existing players with some helpful hints and tips. But ultimately, this update was kind of just not there. It wasn't hitting home exactly for me. But I look forward to future content. I love the game. I'm going to continue playing. It's just not every game is perfect, and, well, no one will ever create the perfect game. But till next time, guys, if you always did what you've always done, you always get what you've always gotten. King Tokes, signing off.